Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Convoy of Hope's military ministry is joining forces with the Warrior's Journey to help improve the lives of our servicemen and women. Director of Project Management for the Warrior's Journey, Ernie Bywater, is here to shed more light on this organization and what specifically it does. So thank you first for being here with us tonight.
Thanks for the invitation.
Explain the mission for the Warrior's Journey.
Well, our mission really is to help warriors and their families grow in their journey with God as they navigate the issues and the struggles with military life. Yeah, and we do that by creating this interactive online community that we call the Warrior's Journey.
Very good. So what are some of the struggles that our warriors face just in everyday life, and specifically too when they come back from combat or a deployment?
Yeah, and that's a really broad question that we could spend a lot of time on, but it's as varied as financial issues. Early in your military career, you're not going to make a lot of money, to problems with children and family as you're moving and transitioning from base to base, and then from the combat issues, from PTSD and all the issues that go with that, the struggles of isolation and moral injury and just not really being able to cope with civilian life when they leave the military in general.
Kind of like finding your identity again almost. Yeah,
because being in the military is a completely different animal from being in as long as I was. Even transitioning from military to civilian life it's different.
Absolutely, I can imagine. So each branch of the military, I read this on your website, has 13 values, and some of those just include character, duty, patriotism, resilience, just to name a few of them.
Right.
And the Warrior's Journey helps our military men and women kind of navigate through each of those. Why is that so important?
Well, it's important in the military community because that's kind of infused in your character and thinking from day one. The whole concept of honor and duty and patriotism, everything you just listed. And resiliency has really become a big buzzword in the military community, because if you're not resilient, if you can't really survive what you're going through, you're not going to be able to do your job well. So the Warrior's Journey has really created some unique opportunities to help our warriors going through those type of things.
So when were you guys founded, and how many families? Because like you said, this isn't just about the servicemen and women, it's also their families and veterans as well. How many people have you helped over the years?
2.5 years.
Okay.
We've been doing what we're doing. We've had just over 300,000 individuals connect with us on our website, and we've had about 2,300 people that we've actually written with, communicated with, engaged with somehow to help them, again, with a lot of varied issues, from simple things to suicide prevention. So that averages to be about 44 to 45 a month that we're engaging with. And we're currently sending out about 800 daily devotional emails.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, you're reaching a lot of
we've got a pretty good reach.
There. And tell me about Op 22, because you mentioned that suicide has become more prevalent, unfortunately, with our military men and women. Yeah,
and that's one of the things that we personally think is just a tragedy that we needed to address. So we started Op 22 to really stem the tide of that happening. So we've really come alongside veterans and active duty in a big way to help the suicide prevention. We've got over 32 partners, groups that we can refer men and women to that are on that verge or on that edge or on that spectrum of making that decision. And I'm glad to say we've helped many. I think in the last 10 months, I know that there's 52 that we have literally walked off the edge. Now, we've connected with many more than that. And if we can connect with them back when they're dealing with the isolation or their moral injury, and begin to work with them, we can keep them off the ledge. But we have walked several, like I said, about 52 in the last 10 months.
Wow.
And that's just a small, tiny drop in the bucket, but that's 52 that are still with us that we're excited about.
Had a new lease on life
too.
Absolutely. So a lot of these topics are actually going to be discussed in some upcoming events that you've teamed up with Convoy of Hope for as well. What can people expect if they go to one of these? Well,
at Convoy, and first of all, we're super excited that they invited us to be a partner with them. So I'm in the veterans tent. Our team's in the veterans tent, and when people come, they're ID'd, and we show them where the veterans tent are, and they're given a Warrior's Bible. They're given some of our resources, but more than that, we really try to connect with them personally. And we don't want the convoy events, we don't want to blow in and blow out. So many of them, I'll give my personal card and say, look, if you need something, call me, email me, let me help you. So we really want people to come and experience just a touch. Just a quick example, if we have time, we were at an event in Wisconsin last year, and one of the local churches made these medals that just said hero on it. And every veteran that came in the tent, they would stop them hanging over their neck and say, thanks for serving. And I can't tell you how much just that piece meant to so many veterans that maybe nobody's ever thanked before. So just the opportunity to thank them, the opportunity to speak with them. And then, like I said, we try to make a long-standing, ongoing ministry touch to people's lives, at these events.
And that's something we should mention too, is that these events are spread out throughout the country, really.
They are.
And we have one, I believe the closest one here in Springfield is actually going to be in Springdale, Arkansas,
right.
Which is about 2 hours away, and that'll be on June 1st. And there's also a golf tournament coming up in the fall if people are golfers out there and want to get into that. Where's that going to be?
That's going to be at Highland Springs Golf Course. So we got one of the nicest courses in the community. And that's going to be on October 28th. We have a dinner on Sunday night prior. And it's really simple. You just go to the teeitupforthetroops.org and you'll find all the information for the golf event. And all the proceeds for that go straight to what we're doing for the Warriors Journey and helping families.
Very good. And if people can't make it out to these events, again, this is an online community that you have built.
It is.
Very good. And what is the website so people know?
TheWarriorsJourney.org.
TheWarriorsJourney.org. And I've kind of browsed through there myself, a lot of great resources. And like you said, just connecting with people who have been in their shoes and know what they're feeling, I'm sure makes a difference.
I think it does. I think it does. And we have many chaplains, retired military folks that are part of our team that we connect people to. So that's the biggest piece of what we do really is giving them the opportunity not to just be on the website, but to connect with somebody and actually begin a conversation to help them. And I think that's kind of unique to our what we do.
Absolutely. All right, this is Ernie Bywater with the Warriors Journey. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh, thanks
and
for having me.
For your service too. We appreciate all that you've done for our country.
Thanks.
We'll be right back with more Ozarks Tonight.